everybody. Welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name is Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing my September wrap-up part 2. I thought I was going to be doing a September book haul part 3, but it looks like I'm going to make it till October. I'm kind of excited about that, because it doesn't make me look so crazy. Ha! Yay! Although my book hauls are kind of bigger comparative to other people's. Anyway, let's jump right in. These are the books that I have read in September for the second part of September, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Yes. All right. I think there's going to be I think I'm re-mentioning one. And I don't, because I can't remember if I mentioned it in my first September wrap-up, and I couldn't find it, but I'm really weird about timing and watching things, so it's fine. Okay, the first book that I began to read in August, and I finally finished at the end of September, this is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I love this book. If you love Jane Eyre, if you love Charlotte Bronte, read this book. My God, I am obsessed. It was like... It was just such... This... I don't... The main character, Lucy, is so adamantly opposed to sharing her life with you as she's so angry. This is such a polar opposite of Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is warm and welcoming and excited to meet you and be with you as a narrator. The narrator of this book is not happy to have you there. She's a little grumpy about you. There's creepiness happening in her life. It's all about the mental weirdness that's happening in her world. There's definitely some conversation about mental illness in here, which is really fascinating because it's not specified, because in this day and age, I don't think madness was specified in a specific illness format. I think it was just you were insane. And so you're reading this book and you're reading about insanity and difference and brains, and again there is a governess and women in boarding schools, and it's just I love this. I love this so much. Villette is the town that she ends up going to work in a boarding school, and I love this. This is a great fall read. It feels like fall, it reads like fall, it holds like fall. I also love this edition. Like, it's just so beautiful. Like, it just feels yummy in my hands, and guys, I can't. If you like Jane Eyre, you need to read this book. If you've read Jane Eyre and you enjoyed it, you need to read this book. If you thought Jane Eyre was too peppy, you need to read this book. This book is fantastic. It's like Jane Eyre and Bertha had a little sister that just took both of their minds and blended them. It's incredible. I loved it. Next, I buddy read this with Miss Mercedes and Amanda Center. All three of us did not like it. This is Stories of Ibis by Hiroshi Yamamoto. I DNF'd it. I didn't like it. It's not for me. I'm going to give it as a gift for Christmas to somebody, because it's just not my cup of tea. It's a little too scientific. There's really not much literary fiction to it. It's not really beautifully written. There's no, like, music to the words. It just wasn't for me. Unfortunately, I'm kind of sad about it, but it is what it is, and these things happen. So that was DNF'd, I think, by all three of us. Next, I picked up this. This is Roald Dahl's Madness, Tales from Fear and Unreason, and oh my goodness, this man has seen some crap. Like, Roald Dahl definitely saw some things in his past. He does not shy away from fear and madness and insanity and the idea of creepiness and darkness and an undoing of a human. This is a brilliant collection. I plan to pick up the other three, which are Lust, Deception, and Cruelty, because this was phenomenal. I absolutely now respect Roald Dahl on a totally different level as a writer. I really enjoyed this. I think it was fun, fabulous, very, very easy to read, and also a really good fall read. Because it's a little creepy. Then I read this one. This was an Amanda Center recommendation. This is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematorium by Caitlin Doughty. I really think this book is super important. And Amanda Center and I talked about it quite a bit after I finished it and as I was reading it. And there's such a greatness to this book because it doesn't just talk about, oh, we're going to talk about people dying. It's not so cut and dry. It's so much more than that. It's so much deeper. It's so much more meaning. It has conversations of mortality and life and the idea of whether or not we truly respect our dead and grieve properly and grieve in a healthy way for ourselves and others. It talks about body image and life, and it's a celebration of humans and emotions and life and cultures. It's wonderful, exquisite, beautiful, and I absolutely recommend this in the highest way. Thank you, Amanda Center, for this one because it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. This is the one that I think is a repeat. This is The No You Never Listen To by Maggie Royer. This was read to me out loud between me and Amanda Center. This is a 5-star read. Absolutely phenomenal. Yes, I think I definitely talked about this in my last video. I'm going to talk about it again because it's absolutely what poetry should be when talking about the recovery from rape. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Donates to RAINN. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. This is The No You Never Listen To by Maggie Royer. Do it. White Oleander, this was a reread for me. I cannot tell you how much I forgot how much I loved this book. So I began reading it and automatically I just whipped right back to when I was 15 years old and reading this under the, like, this was one of the books that so when I would go to the hippie school, this was in the library, and this is one of the ones that I would grab repetitively and go sit in corners and hide from everybody. This was such a safe haven for me. It is mental illness being discussed in so many different facets, in so many different ways, and so many people living with it in such different ways of treating it and coping with it and functioning with it. The idea of God and the idea of life and the idea of forgiveness and the ideas of coping and dealing and living, and it's beautiful. And I'm repeating myself and I know that, but I love this book. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I do not like the movie as much as I like this, and I rewatched the movie, and it was just not the same thing. It's not the same feeling. It's not the same emotion. It's not the same beauty. This is written stunningly. It's written exquisitely. It's incredible. It's wonderful. This has been one of my favorite books of all time, but I totally forgot about it, and I don't know how, and it's probably because I didn't own it on my shelf, but I'm in love with this book. I think it's wonderful, perfect, absolutely just epic. Pick it up if you have not. It's probably very easy to find, used, and or in like an overstacked sort of place. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. Last and certainly not least, I was sent this by Europa Publishing. This is The Carousel of Desire by Eric Emmanuel Schmidt. This is a translation from a French book, and it's translated by Howard Curtis and Catherine Gregor. Now, this is fantastic, but one, you have to be ready to... This is fantastic, and one, you have to be ready to sit down and read. I'm sorry, I got interrupted by a phone call, so I am repeating myself. You have to be ready to sit down and, like, read, because the font is small, and the pages are long, and it's over 600 pages, but it's totally worth it. So this talks about sex, love, relationships, different types of relationships, different types of romance, different types of love, different types of sex, different types of affection. I don't know if you guys saw me pointing that. I was closing something out. This talks about This talks about the human relationship with love, affection, sex, and lust in such an exquisite way and such a different way, and so honestly and openly, without apologies, without fear of rejecting, or without fear, period, is what it comes down to. This talks about all those things that are so uncomfortable to so many of us, and so much of the time we're told not to talk about them, and this talks about all of it, and it just lays it out there, and it's exquisite. It's a bunch of different, I want to say it's almost like short stories that just really weave together beautifully. But I'm trying to figure out how they explain it. So it is a full story, but the way that they're written in is almost like vignettes, and everything is just kind of a glimpse here and a glimpse there of all these different characters and how they interact and how they relate and how they intertwine and how their worlds are like overlapping. It's really beautiful. It's really breathtaking. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you have a chance to pick this up, do so, especially if you're not squeamish about sex. Because if you're squeamish about sex, this is not going to work for you. Within the first page, you pretty much realize you need to not be squeamish about sex, because it's pretty point blank. But if you have the stomach to talk about sex and relationships and love and lust and the difference, pick it up. Absolutely. 100%. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. It's incredible. Guys, this has been my September part 2 wrap up. I am so happy to have gotten into October. I'm getting close to my 1-year anniversary. I don't know what I'm going to do for that, because we'll see if I hit 1,000 subscribers by then. If I do, great. If I don't, it's okay. I don't know. I mean, you guys know that my goal on this channel is to be a career opted, to have a job, to be able to do this full time, to be able to put money into it and time into it, to be able to be helpful to you guys, to be able to start something, to be able to communicate. That is my goal, is to make this a job, to make this real, to make this something that is of value to the community and myself. And it hasn't happened yet. It's work. I'm getting there. I am. Do not think for a second that I am not putting 110% into this, because I am. This is my full-time job right now, but I don't get paid for it. And I don't have, like, people funding me or anything like that, which is totally fine. I don't expect it to happen in 1 year. I really don't. I don't expect that at all. But what I do hope for is that those of you who are here and have been here since the beginning will continue to support me, continue to love me, continue to give me feedback, and will keep working with me and waiting with me as I change and adjust to new subscribers coming in and out. Please always feel free in the comments below to let me know what you need, let me know what you want, let me know what you want to see. Also, you guys know my email. You guys are always welcome to reach out to me. I have several of you that do so on a fairly regular basis, and I really appreciate the love and support that I get from you guys, regardless of the fact that I get a few hate emails quite frequently as well. But you guys that are good to me far outweigh the worst, and I'm very happy. I do leave my email down below for people who are nasty to email me personally, because I don't want those of you who are my subscribers to have to see the nasty things that come out of people's mouths. It's not fair to you, and it shouldn't be something you see on a daily basis. And I can handle it. I know how. It's no worse than the stuff the people that bullied me say. So I'm a big girl. I got this. And it sucks, but it is what it is, and I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing regardless of what the haters say. So that is what it is. And I will talk to you guys very soon. I'll see you next week. I love you all. See you in October.